Hey there, everyone. Welcome to episode 1219 of the Mike from Maine show, the place where we do daily interviews with successful online entrepreneurs. This is your host, Mike Thomas, and today on the show, we have Sam Becker on, and we're going to be talking about a really smart tool that's going to allow you to target people on Facebook for your ads and get your clicks for cheaper and, of course, make more money from them. Let's get into it. Here's Sam. We are here today with Sam Becker. Sam, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Sam, today we're going to be talking about something that everybody should be doing, and perhaps some people in our audience have tried doing Facebook ads before and maybe not been as successful as they want it to be. Maybe there's a reason why they weren't successful with that. I'm sure we'll talk about that today as well. I'm going to read off the headline for the product we're going to be talking about today. It says here, brand new software instantly uncovers Facebook audiences your competition will never find in 2 minutes or less. Uncover hidden data for cheaper clicks and more profit from your Facebook advertising campaign. So bring us into this, Sam. What's this all about and why should we be excited?
Sure. So the software itself is a software that, as it says, it taps into hidden data within Facebook. So anytime that you do any sort of Facebook advertising campaign within Facebook, you're going to need to do it through the ads manager within Facebook. And through that ads manager, you obviously will set how much money you want to spend on ads. You'll also go in, you'll set who you want to target, which areas and what age groups, male or female. And then you'll go into the interests part of that. And the interests part is extremely important, probably the most important distinguisher between successful ad campaigns and unsuccessful ad campaigns. And the reason is that within the targeting, you're basically choosing which audience you actually want to target and what group of people you actually want to show your ads to. And if you show your ads to the wrong group of people or a group of people that aren't that interested in your product, then what it means is that you won't make any sales and you won't be able to profit from your ads. And the biggest problem that exists within Facebook's ad manager right now for advertisers is that it's very difficult to find the right audiences to actually target. So what our software does is it taps into Facebook's API that we need to get approval for. It's basically an API is like a connection, and we're able to get data that other people aren't able to access and data that isn't presented within the ad manager when you actually search for interests. And we're able to then use that data, put it into a search engine, which we've created, and we're able to present those interests to you. And what it means is, and why it's important for you and your clients, is that it will present you with very specific audiences, very specific interests, very specific behaviors. So you'll then be able to put them into your ad campaigns and you'll be able to get much better results than if you use Facebook's audiences. And one of the reasons that it will become you'll save a huge amount of time doing this, is that if you target Facebook's current audiences and interests, which I'll show you how much data we actually grab compared to Facebook, then you're going to be targeting a very broad group of people. And when you target a broad group of people, it's very difficult to get them clicking. It's very difficult to find people that are actually interested in what you're advertising for a client to your own business. So what you need to do is target specifically, because when you target specifically, your ad costs go down as Facebook identifies that you're improving the user experience for users because you're targeting and advertising something that's relevant to them. And it also means that you get more click-through rates and there's a higher chance that your campaign will be profitable. So when it comes to Facebook advertising, it's not that if you do any sort of advertising over Facebook, you need a software like this. You need to be able to tap into that data, because if you don't, you're at a big disadvantage and you're competing against some really big advertisers that will increase your ad spend and will make it very difficult to run profitable campaigns. Whereas our software, because it's helping you to get specific about who you're actually targeting, will mean that you're able to save a lot of money. You're able to advertise over Facebook and reach the right people, and the whole process of Facebook advertising becomes a lot easier and a lot more profitable.
I'm going to have you share your screen here in a sec, because I think this is one of those things that it's going to be easier to understand by actually looking at it. Before you do that, for people that are watching right now, maybe they're not doing Facebook ads currently. Maybe they don't necessarily want to get into doing Facebook ads for themselves. What are ways that people can make money from this? Like, can you use it for other businesses as well?
Sure. Well, the main use for this software is obviously in using with your own campaigns, but because we have commercial rights on the front, what you can actually do is you can find businesses right now advertising incorrectly over Facebook, and you can actually approach them. One of the most profitable services that you can offer right now is a service where you actually help businesses with their Facebook advertising. I know people that are doing this, like doing it very successfully, charging $1,500 every month to businesses and up to $3,000 per month minimum to actually go out and advertise for those businesses and manage their ads account. And businesses that are advertising on Facebook right now, most of them don't know about the data, that they're not targeting their audiences correctly. So it's a very easy sell to go up to a business and approach them with a solution such as this, which is that you'll be able to apply better targeting. You'll be able to find their audience, the correct audience. And as a result of that, it's a very attractive offer for businesses who really don't want to learn this stuff themselves. They just want someone else to take care of it for them. And if you can learn how to use this software, which takes a couple of minutes, as I'll show you on this call, then you can approach businesses. You can improve the audiences they're targeting. You can make their ads more profitable for them. And as a result, you can get paid yourself for offering that as a service.
You're providing immediate value for them. It's not like you're saying that, I don't know, it's not like creating a website for someone or a Facebook page for someone where you kind of have to make them kind of think, maybe like you're going to get better branding or you're going to get better reach. It's like, okay, I'm going to save you money on your ads, and you're going to be targeting better customers, people that are actually going to want to buy your product or service. Let's take a look inside, Sam. Let's
sure.
I want to see how this all works.
All right, so I'll just share my screen right now, and I'll first of all start off with showing you some ads, I guess, and the types of ads that are being run. So one sec, I'll just share my screen. It's been a while since I tried this over Skype. You can see my screen?
Not yet. Might be a delay. Nope, here it comes. Yes.
Cool. Okay, so I'm just going to place my microphone there, and hopefully it's okay.
Yep.
So you'll see here that through Facebook, there's all types of ads being used. You'll see here that Toonly, for example, is serving up an advertisement. If I was to scan through, you'll see that there's a wide range of different ads that are being served up. This is another ad that's being served up. And people advertise over Facebook because it is right now the biggest source of traffic on the internet, essentially. If you want to be making the most money, you really should be focusing on advertising over Facebook and creating offers that are profitable. And businesses want to be on Facebook because it is the best way to get fast traffic coming through and make profits super quickly. So what businesses usually do is they'll go through, say, for example, they'll click into a particular ad account. They might go through and create a new ad within this ads manager. And then from there, they'll be able to go through the different steps. So this is the ads manager. If you haven't been in there before, I'm sure you have. You will be able to select what kind of campaign you want. For this example, we'll just choose a lead generation campaign and we'll click create. So the way you get to this as well is business.facebook.com/ads manager if you wanted to check this out. And then from there, you've got your different options. So first you choose a Facebook page that you want to advertise from. You'll then go down and you'll then be required to select an audience. Now, throughout this audience selection process, you're going to choose this here, all demographics, interests, and behaviors. And this is probably the most important feature when it comes to Facebook advertising, because here you're going to be determining who's actually going to be seeing your ads and what audiences are. So first, we'll just choose which country we're going to advertise to. For this example, I'm going to use the States because it is probably the best place to be advertising to, but you can advertise to anywhere using Facebook system. They've got so many people all around the world. You can really, even where I am here in a place called Novosibirsk, you may not have even heard about it, but we can advertise to, I think almost 1 million people here, which is crazy. So you've got genders. You can target all genders or a particular gender. And then here is where we get our demographics and our advertising. So, for example, if you're working with a local cafe, and I like to use this example because I do know a bit about coffee, and I've been kind of working with a cafe locally here and investigating a lot of the different options with targeting. And if you type in coffee, for example, this is what you'll see. So you'll see a few campaigns, and as you'll see that the size, you can see here on my screen, the size is about 8 million for iced coffee. So that means that over Facebook, about 8 million people have identified in the States that they're interested in coffee, coffee roasting, about 8 million people, coffee maker, 11 million people. And what you find here is that there's such a large audience, such a general audience that have an interest in coffee, that if you were to target these people, you would be paying a huge amount of money, and it's likely that they're being targeted by a whole lot of other people. And it's not just other advertisers that are advertising coffee, it's other people also that are competing for those people's interests, which might be in marketing if they've expressed an interest in marketing, because Facebook only has so much real estate that it can offer for its ads. So the reason you want to get really specific with your advertising is you want to narrow down your group so your ads get clicked on, and the more you can know about your audience, the better your the less you're going to end up paying for your ad costs. So it's really important that you don't just take a general audience, that you get really specific on the people that have a hardcore interest in a particular topic, because then likely because you're targeting a smaller audience, you're going to pay less, and because you're also getting really specific, there's a higher chance that they're going to click through your ads. So through Facebook system, you can see here there's a few smaller audiences like Costa Coffee, but Costa Coffee, for example, it's just a chain and it's big in the UK, but I'm not sure how big it is in the States. And we can't, we've got a few small audiences here, but nothing that we can really use. So what advertisers do is they might select just a few of these audiences, not knowing what they're doing, and try and use Facebook system like that. Or the other thing they'll do is they'll actually go and they'll browse interests. And you can browse through these interests. And say, for example, let's pick another industry, because coffee is very difficult to find within here even. We'll just do fitness and well-being, for example. There's a lot of brands that want to advertise T-shirts and merchandise for bodybuilding or exercise. And again, this is as far as Facebook allows us to dig down into these topics. Now, there's a number of other topics that could be dug down into deeper, but because for whatever reason, I'm not sure, Facebook only shows this limited amount, it's really difficult to find those audiences. So the default becomes that you either use Facebook system or you can start guessing. And you can start guessing what audiences people might be interested in and trying to use that data. But through that, if you're guessing, you're not going to be able to, you're going to miss out on a number of audiences, and it's also likely that you'll not be able to find the specific audiences that you need. And that's why AdSite Pro is software that we created and why we created it. You'll see this search that's on the screen right now. I did this just a moment ago, and you'll see how much data is here. So 4-hour work week, we've got 40 different interests. You can see here as well, we have Mike Fulsame, we have 4-hour work week, all these different authors and these different known people that are related heavily, that people that have an interest in 4-hour work week also have an interest in as well. Now, if we went over to Facebook system and we did a search for 4-hour work week, for example, it's going to show a few of them, but you can just see how different the data is and how broad and unuseful it is. We've got the 4-hour work week, which has 200,000 people. That's not a bad targeting term. But after that, look how big these audiences are.
Work industry sales. Like, that's just such a broad niche.
Exactly, yeah. And it's impossible to be able to find but that's what people are doing. They're adding in a piece of information. Oh, yeah, okay, we'll just target that, we'll target that. And what's happening is that Facebook ends up charging them a huge amount of money because they're competing against everyone in these different industries. Facebook doesn't really mind because they are getting more per click if people click on these. Whereas if people are more specific, then Facebook makes less.
So let me interrupt. Sorry to interrupt you. I think people might think that they see these huge audiences, like 14 million people. Holy crap, I'm going to target those 14 million. I'm going to reach thousands of people per day. I'm going to get a ton of leads. And I mean, sure, you might be reaching more people and the audience might be bigger, but probably that audience, it's not targeted. So those people aren't going to be the kind of people that you want to be targeting. If you're selling a coffee maker or whatever you're doing. I mean, you don't want to target such a large group of people. You want to target people that are specifically interested in purchasing your coffee maker. And even if I would much rather have a small audience of people really excited than a huge audience of people that are just like, eh.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that's what you're really looking for with this software. You're really looking for audiences that are between 200,000 and on the higher end, or any less than 200,000. On the higher end, you're looking at a million, but that's for, preferably you're looking for audiences that are on the lower end, a few 100,000 people. Whereas you can't search that easily within Facebook. We have the 4-hour work week. We can select that one audience, but then again, there's all these other audiences we're missing out on, which you can't see here. But if we go over to here, we type in 4-hour work week, we do a search, you've suddenly got all of these very specific audiences that we can target and use. So we've got other audiences that have been suggested to us. So let me start at the very beginning of AdSite Pro, and we'll do another couple of searches. So we have two targeting options within AdSite Pro: interests and behaviors. So interests are what people are interested in. So they're 4-hour work week, their particular books, their particular, like video marketing is an interest, coffee is an interest. And then we have behaviors. Now, behaviors are how people behave over Facebook, how Facebook identifies that people are behaving. So how are they accessing Facebook? Do they access Facebook when they are on a mobile phone or a computer, a desktop? And where do we want to target those people based on those behaviors? So, for example, you can target people that are on their phones within a specific area about a specific topic. And you can just target people on their phones because they're out and about, they're on the move. You can target commuters, people that commute to work every single day. So if there's someone you're wanting to target or approach who is going to work or going back from work, you can target them there. And also a behavior is based around when someone has a particular, for example, when they return from a trip. You can actually target people once they've returned from a holiday, or someone that is in the process of being on holiday as well and traveling.
I think you can target people that are like getting married and stuff too.
Yes, that as well.
Yeah.
So you can get more specific on a particular events happening in someone's life, and that can be really useful as well because the more specific in that area you can get, the better it's going to be for you.
So let me ask you a quick question. I know that we both had kids recently. Did you start seeing ads in your Facebook feed? Because I did. I started seeing ads about like children's development and what they should be playing with.
Funny.
I started getting targeted with that. I don't know if it's because they figured it out somehow. Maybe they retargeted me from a website, but they somehow they know I have a kid.
For me, my wife definitely. And on her computer, we limit the baby searches to her computer, and we just an onslaught of ads everywhere.
Good idea.
But it's advertising. It's very very interesting the way that how detailed you can get as an advertiser into someone's life and life events. We've noticed as well particular topics that we've been talking about. Even that I didn't even remember searching for, and suddenly I've got ads being presented on my screen, and it must be that I did one search from somewhere, and somehow I'm being targeted with Kindle books around that particular topic, which I do tend to find very interesting, and I do click through and look at.
Which I think it makes the point, Sam, and you were talking earlier about like if you show people the right ads and they're interacting with those ads, like if you're Facebook wants you to give them that experience. If you're getting targeted with stuff that you're actually clicking on and you're really, really interested in, that's what Facebook wants. Facebook doesn't want the audience to get pissed off that they're seeing ads. They want it to be more of a natural experience. So it makes sense. If you're able to target people with better ads, it makes sense that Facebook's going to actually give you cheaper ads and you're going to have to spend less on them. I mean, it's a win-win situation for everyone.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a very good point. Facebook, the last thing that they want to do is have people not enjoying the user experience because they're being presented with the wrong ads. So Facebook, they penalize people for doing the wrong, approaching the wrong audiences to general audiences, and they reward those that are more specific and do maintain a good experience. So you can choose which different language you want. You can target any country within this app as well. So if you are in another country that doesn't speak English, for example, Spain, you can target people with Spanish terms. You can find Spanish terms within the software. And yeah, there's no limits to which countries or which languages you can actually target with the software. From there, it's really easy. So all it really requires you to do is type in some ideas that you have, some main keywords. So if we start really broad and we think about advertising for a fitness brand, maybe we're, if you've heard of the brand Gymshark, it's a gym sports clothing brand, a very big brand from the UK. And we might start off with that particular brand's advertising by typing in fitness. And then from there, within the software, we can then dig down deeper into these different terms relating to fitness. So you'll see here that we immediately are presented with some very, very specific audiences. CrossFit Endurance, CrossFit Charlotte. We would probably look through these and we would get a little bit larger with our targeting. And we would want to find people that appear to be the types of people that do go to the gym and preferably wear clothing. So terms around a gym or terms around other fitness brands are what we would like to target with these particular audiences. Mm-hmm. So we would go through here and we would have a look at people that are like hardcore into their fitness, and we would find some audiences that we can then use. We could go through and and one of the real advantages of this as well is that we'll go through and maybe target. One of the real advantages of this as well is that when you're going through and you're identifying people to target and you're actually advertising to them, after you've started advertising to these different interests, you can find out which interests are performing well versus other interests, and then you can delete the interests that aren't performing as well, and you can keep running ads to the ones that are performing the best. So you can actually see based on individual interests which ads are performing better than other interests. So we would go through here, we would choose anything really under 1 million is getting targeted enough, mm-hmm. and we would go through and we would choose some different brands that seem to basically have people that might be considered hardcore into their fitness, the types of people that go to the gym that would want to wear our fitness brands. And you could actually go through and you could tick all of these for a business, and you could test out all of these different interests, see which ones are performing well, delete the ones that aren't, and then it's as easy as that. Then from there, you just click copy. So you click this button here, copy. You go over to Facebook Ad Manager, and I'm just going to cross this ad, and you just click paste. So paste, and our interests are set up. Easy. You're ready to go. Yeah, done. Then from there, you just add in your advertisement, and you're going to have ads shown to these different groups of people. And Facebook tracks your different interests, so you can see which interests perform better than others, and then you can remove those that aren't and keep the ones that are. Because it's so specific, you get a really good idea quickly without needing much testing at all as to which audiences are going to perform the best and what people are actually interested in. The other thing is that because you're being so specific, you can be more specific with your ads, which helps as well. We can also download a CSV. So, for example, you're selling this to a business, or you're doing this service for a business, and they want to do the ads themselves. You can just CSV export these interests here, and you can send them in an email to that business, and that's been done as well. Now, that's the front-end features. That's what's included on the front end. You can also dig down deeper on the front end and look at the Facebook terms that relate to a particular topic. So if you wanted to identify your market and get to know them better, you could actually look at the different pages that are in Facebook that Facebook has grabbed this data from. So you can have a look at these specific interests, and you can go through these pages and have a look at what types of people are in here, what types of ads are already being shown, or what types of images are being shown, and you can get a good idea based on these particular interests that Facebook has, how you should be approaching these particular people in this group.
Okay, so that's the front end product there. I think you've got a personal and a commercial license available on there, so you guys can pick and choose which one you want for that. Walk us through the OTOs, Sam. How are those going to work?
Sure. So the first OTO is the upgrade number 1. Now I have this added into my account now, so I'll explain which features are included in that OTO 1. So first of all, this apply feature here and the save feature here are both upgrade features. I'll start with the save feature. So the save feature allows you to save interests for future. So if we wanted to say if Gymshark was a client of ours, we could type in Gymshark, search 1, and we could actually save the data that we've stored in this particular search, and we can come back to it in future. So if we are in the middle of finding some interesting data, or if we want to save it to actually go through it with the client in future, we can save that data here. We can go back to our AdSite Pro dashboard, click on Apply Existing, and then we can actually find that particular search. We can click on it, it'll load up this data. From there, when we're ready, we can actually click Apply, and we can then immediately apply these different interests that we have to a Facebook ads account, which is an upgrade feature as well. So you can do all of your interests targeting within our software instead of having to jump into Facebook's manager and paste in, this information into here. You don't need to do any of that. You can actually add the interests to a particular campaign, and you can select which ads you want shown to those people that are in that group. Click Apply, and then it's done. You've actually added those interests to that account. As another upgrade feature as well, what we have is this layering feature. Now, I've set up already some layering in here to show you. And this layering feature basically allows you to add additional interests and dig deeper into them. So this is something that is a little bit more advanced. So I'll just explain it in a bit more depth so it's fully understood. So when you've got a interest, say for example, if we go over to here, we've got fitness as our interest. So you might identify that your brand serves people that are into their fitness, but also are into a specific brand. So for example, if I was targeting people with an expensive fitness brand, a brand that sold more expensive clothing, a brand that was targeting the higher end of the market, I might identify that many of our customers also shop for higher end brands. So like Chanel, they might wear higher end clothing brands, and I might target them for their fitness, their interest in fitness, and I would also attach another interest, and that interest might be high-end fashion and some interests around high-end fashion. So what Facebook would get from this feature right here, and I'll just delete this particular layer here, is they would get, for example, that someone that is interested in fitness and is also interested in high-end fashion. So they would target the people within my interests group that are interested in fitness and also have an interest in high-end fashion. And it would remove the other people that are just interested in fitness but have not expressed any interest in high-end fashion from the group, and it would mean I'm getting even more specific with my targeting, and I could use ads that then approach that particular audience in a specific way that show that our fitness brand is not only a good fitness brand, but also it's fashionable, and it matches what their interests and their tastes are. So
that's getting pretty next level there, and very, very targeted.
It is, yeah. And this is if you want to do this for a company, a business, then one of the secrets that you cannot do through Facebook is being able to use these layers. So another option, and it just takes a little bit of thought. For example, if I was opening one of the examples here is that I'm working with a business right now, and that business does coffee classes. So they actually will run barista making classes, and they get a lot of people coming through that want to be baristas or have a very specific interest in coffee. So you want to make sure that you're advertising to people that fit a certain audience group. So everyone loves coffee. Like 90% of people, let's say, love coffee. Yeah. So how are you going to narrow that group down? Well, one of the ways that you could do it is you could find people that are interested in coffee, okay, like espresso machine, black coffee, and then you could also find people that are interested in coffee production, are interested in specialty coffee, are interested in baristas, in coffee competitions. And if you want to find people that are hardcore into coffee that might be wanting to come along and like the idea of learning how to be a barista or learning how to make a really good coffee within a course, which costs maybe $500, $1,000 per person, you would target those specific people that have identified that they're not only coffee drinkers, but they're also like hyper interested in the way that coffee is made and the process of coffee, and they've identified that they have interests above and beyond the regular audience.
Well, I understand this correctly, Sam. Like when you try to target on Facebook, you can either target, like you can put in people that are interested in coffee, and you can put in people that are interested in being like a barista. and you're targeting both those people. But with this, you can say, okay, I don't want to just target people that are interested in coffee and interested in barista. I want to target only if they're interested in both of those things together. Is that what this is doing?
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're getting even more focused and even more targeted.
Cool.
And this is a really good feature for advertising campaigns. It's super valuable, being able to get even more detailed, because you can find out more about your audience. You can also target a more specific group, which means that you're able to position ads more specifically, and you'll make a lot more money, but also you'll have a lot cheaper ad costs.
Like if you're a car dealership and you're trying to sell I don't know, I'm going to give you a stupid example, but I think it will work. You're trying to sell a green Range Rover, and you can target people that like green cars, and you can target people that like Range Rovers on Facebook. But maybe people that like green cars, they might like green Range Rovers, but probably they like other green cars too. People that like Range Rovers, they might like other Range Rover colors. But when you're able to go, okay, they like green Range Rovers, and you're selling a green Range Rover, then obviously if you make an ad that says, hey, do you like green Range Rovers? Check this out. I mean, you're going to get much more of people engaging in your ads, cheaper clicks. It's going to be much cheaper. I know it's a silly example, but I think it does the job.
Yeah, I think it's correct. With like a brand of Range Rover, you would definitely want to target for example, the Range Rover brand, people that have interests in Range Rover brands. And then I would also probably look at what types of people have an interest in Range Rover brands. Mm-hmm. And you can find that out by looking and digging into Facebook and having a look at the types of people that are there, clicking through their profiles, having a look at what other interests they have, and developing a little bit of an idea about that particular group of people and what else they might be interested in. For example, you might find that Range Rover drivers also have a interest in four-wheel drive competitions, or they have an interest in a specific car club, and that's kind of an audience where you can know that your advertising is going to be even more specific in reaching people that are like not only regular drivers but also like more like hardcore sort of fans in that area that not only think about the idea of owning a car, but think about specifically the dream of owning a Range Rover, and that's one of the things that they have on their wish list, and that's what you'll be wanting to find with a dealership to get hyper specific.
Sure.
You want to find the people that not only thinking about buying a car, but specifically have Range Rover on their wish list, and then you want to make it easy for them to understand why now is the right time for them. That's where this software makes that possible, because it wouldn't be possible with Facebook's current targeting. It would be very difficult to do. So this opens up a huge amount of potential and possibilities.
Okay, so that's you've got these extra features here. I think you've got unlimited ad accounts and whatnot. What other features are included in the OTO one?
Sure. So also in the OTO one, if we go back here, we go through to the English, we go, and I'll just do another search. For example, we'll do a search for, in this case, we'll do it for internet marketing. Actually, we can do it for video marketing. Video marketing is a good one. We just do video actually. So we also have related suggestions. Now, these suggestions work really well if you're a bit more specific. So for me, I'll just type in video marketing. And what this does is it gives you some other opportunities that you might not have thought about, some other advertising opportunities that will present you with some other options. So in this particular case, it's not presenting stuff that's that useful. But if we go through here, you can see we can find specific audiences from here. But what this will do is it'll basically present you with some options you may not have thought about. So if I typed in fitness, for example, we'll see a few additional options come into here. And these are recommendations that we give you for audiences you may not have thought about. So physical fitness, good shape, fittingness, probably not a good one, good condition. We could mix some of these words up. You can click on one if you find one that you would like to dig into deeper, and then you can have a look at those audiences very quickly. Cool, so that's basically what's included on the Pro features, and that will allow you to do all of that. And then the next upgrade that we have is the agency upgrade. Now, the agency features are if you really want to push this hard as a brand. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people that make a lot of money doing Facebook ads for businesses, so we wanted to make it super easy to do that. So you'll see within my account, I've got a number of options. One of them is that I can add a team. So one of the upgrade features is that you can actually add people to your team and they can do the targeting for you. So you can outsource this completely, which is really, really useful, obviously. Also, as part of that agency, you're able to adjust the language. So if you're dealing with people that are in a different country, so if you've got outsourcers in France, Germany, Russia, or if you're serving different audiences, you can actually click one of these and change the entire interface into that particular language. So for example, if I was to type in Russia, we would then go back and I could type in Russian. You can see some Russian that's popping up here. I won't click back because I don't want to risk having Russian show up all over the place and then having to get through. But I think you get the point.
Sure.
It'll change all of your features into Russian, which helps you for outsources. We also have, as part of that agency, a scanner feature. Now, none of my ads are currently showing, but basically what this will show is that if Facebook makes any changes and actually depreciates any of your ads, so is about to close down one of your ads because of a change in their system or change in their targeting, which does happen actually quite frequently, your clients will get a warning message and you'll also get notified so you can adjust their ad so it doesn't get taken down. If you've got a profitable ad that's running, the last thing you want to do is have Facebook suddenly stop that. So you'll have some warnings so you can actually change the ad with the information you get, and it'll actually take you to the specific ad where that issue is within the system, which is really helpful. Then in the agency package, we don't have it featured here, but we also have, as part of that, we have a agency funnel that will help you to sell your services online on the internet. And that agency funnel is really useful for actually closing people automatically online. And we go through some training and actually run 2 webinars on how to set up this funnel, where I actually show you us setting this funnel up and doing some targeting to actually bring some leads from the internet through this funnel. And then also included with that is contracts. We've got some additional branding and some other useful resources for your agency. And then the other upgrade we have is our ad creator. So as the upgrade number 3, we actually have a ad creator that will create ads for you. It will allow you to drag and drop different templates into a canvas to edit. And you can basically, if you want to complete the picture, if you've got great targeting, you're going to also want ads to go along with that. And within the system, you can create some really great ads very quickly from the templates that we've got. And you'll see that as upgrade number 3. That also includes some video ads that you can use as well. And then finally, as upgrade number 4, we have resale rights. So this is obviously a really new software. Businesses need this. And if you'd like to be able to sell this and receive 100% profits from its selling, that resale package is available to you. So you'll be able to go out and send an email to your list and make money from this, or you'll be able to run some ad campaigns yourself, direct it through the software and make some money. You'll be able to keep 100% of the profits coming through that. So that's also available with all the marketing resources that you'll need as that upgrade number 4.
Sam, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Is there anything else, anything we missed, anything you wanted to mention before we wrap it up?
Just that we are going to be running a special price at the beginning, and this launch is only going to be around for, I think, 3.5 days. So it's a quick launch of this product. We've got plans afterwards to take it to the wider market, but it's going to be closing down after that time. And then when it comes back, it'll be a lot more expensive. So my advice is that if you are interested in this, if you're doing any Facebook targeting, or if you've done Facebook advertising in the past but failed at it because of bad targeting, then this software will solve that problem. So I highly recommend getting in early to get the best price.
Again, thank you so much for coming on the show, and best of luck with your launch.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye.
I hope you enjoyed the interview today with Sam. If you are interested in picking up AdSite Pro at its lowest price, you're going to want to come back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, October 1st. You're going to be able to pick it up at its lowest early bird discounted price, along with my special bonuses. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.